Hey guys, it's Vanity, Ezel back in our Cafe Vanguard deck profile, or not deck profile, Ezel and Vanity weekly reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't like, comment, subscribe, sorry. This time we're covering more stuff from the Koro set and from DD set 6, and of course until the Koro stuff is mostly gone, I'm going to continue to do these on Discord because I don't feel like putting them into the Google Slides. First today we have Verse, I'm not even going to try to say that number, No Black, Grade 2 SF 5k shield, 10k base, it's the donation between Koro and Brancate. Can use rear guard if your Vanguards are Grade 3 or greater black and you do not have another rear guard on the same name as this unit. This unit cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects and it gets 5,000 power. Typically, when cards have the restriction of not having another copy on the board, they typically have a secondary effect that isn't just an actual secondary effect. Like, they have a secondary effect that, you know, makes them useful regardless if the name is on board. Like, for example, Gaster still gets 5k regardless if there's a second copy on board. But if it's in the back row and it's the only copy, then it can back row attack. But, you know, we just say screw that ability. And then change rear guard if your Vanguards or Koro gets boost. Okay, it's special on all the Koro decks being a grade 2 boost. And, you know, if you are on a black, it's a 15k. So it's not a bad grade 2 to have. It's a good 2 over 3 of. Moving on, we have Direful Doll Dione, grade 2 to 10% 13k base. The moon is the only saving grace thing about this card. Auto when retire from rear guard circle by the ability of your opponent's card. Soul Boss 1, draw a card. Why is this deck reliant on having this thing killed by your opponent's units? I just want to know, why is this card reliant on that? I don't know. It's okay, I guess, because there are a handful of really good cards that retire, but again, the fact that this thing's a vanilla if your opponent doesn't kill it, and a lot of things that retire typically don't retire a bunch of things at once. They hard target, meaning they could just dance around this. But okay, sure, cool. 2 over 3 of vanilla if you can't afford anything else, and at least it's a Direful Doll if you try to play this in Android, though I don't recommend you try that because you have plenty of better options. Moving on, we have the Ultimate Lifeform Nita, grade 2 and SF 5k shield, 10k base, act drop zone if your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater Koro and you don't have a copy of this on rear guard, and you blast 2 to call it. Okay, cool, free rear guard. And then auto rear guard when this unit attacks into a grade 3 grade unit. If your Vanguards are black, it gets 10,000 power for that battle. So 20k swing, and granted the superior call skill is blocked behind you being at grade 3, but this skill procs regardless if you're at grade 3, as long as your Vanguard's a black. Now, obviously, most of the time, since it has to attack into a grade 3 or greater, it's probably going to be at when you're at grade 3. But if your opponent's superior call to grade 3 off of something like the Fort from the Alden ride, or not Alden, from Fort from the Bastion ride line, then technically speaking, yeah, that's a 20k swing. All around, not a bad grade 2. It calls itself back, and it's a 20k swinger all for free. It's essentially Combine Rusher without costing CB, so in my opinion, it's a good 4 for the deck. Then we have Knight of Shortcuts Ruscles, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto rear guard when it's put on, or not auto rear guard, auto when it's put on guard circle if you have a Dragon Tree marker on the rear guard. Until end of the battle, this unit gets auto when retired from guard circle, you may shove it to soul and 5,000 shield. So essentially have one Dragon Tree marker on board. This is a 10k shield that can yeet itself into soul. Not a bad grade 1. It does end up getting you more soul. It works well for the Keter decks that have a bunch of generic soul blasters, and it all really requires a single Dragon Tree marker on the board. The only thing that would make this better is if it was a Dragon Tree Wretch or a Hydra. So yeah, not a very bad grade 1 at all. I think it's pretty decent, so 2 over 3 of them. And then we have this line, and I have, like, out of all the Koro lines, this is the one I hate the most, and the only reason I hate it is because when they were doing these reveals, you know, they were giving the joke side upgrades to the DZ set start bosses. They made Crystonios's this one, and Crystonios's, like, joke boss was actually really solid. And it could have been Crystonios's real thing. But no, they gave it to this. So now I have, like, a personal vendetta against this entire deck. So everything I say, take it with a grain of salt here, because I'm probably being a little bit biased. So first up, we have Bebe and Baby, and I'm not going to say that again, so that's the only time you're going to get me saying that. Auto roll upon for a second, draw a card, standard start, a bunch of free draw if you go second. Following that, we have the new family member name I'm not going to say. Auto when placed on rear guard, not when placed on rear guard, but by riding from a Koro unit. Check top 7, choose up to 1 blitz, order up to 1 card with either name I'm not going to say or Ani Takashima and his card name. Reveal it, put it to hand, show off your deck. Okay, cool. So it's simply by riding from any of the starters. Doesn't even have to be specifically the one from this ride line. You can check the top 7 and either get a blitz order, which could be really good defensively, or just get any one of your key pieces for your deck, all for free. So honestly, not a very bad grade 1 at all, and it's a solid 1 in the red deck. Obviously, you don't want it in the main deck because no main deck skill, but still. Following that, we have Unconventional Baby, not going to say the name. Grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base, auto when placed by riding from a Koro. You need to start your deck for up to one grade 0 normal unit with the name I'm not going to say in this card name. Call it to rear guard circle and shuffle the deck. So basically, free superior call of any card. This would have been I was about to say this would have been nice in Nirvana when it's trying to call Trickstar, but in its own perspective, right, this ride line is essentially Trickstar's ride line, but reverse, which is funny because that's kind of what this deck's gimmick is, explosive growth, which is technically overdress, which is kind of funny that, you know, this is Ryu's skill from Nirvana Jiva, more or less, and this is just straight up both Reno's skills, just without the specifications it has to be a Trickstar, like how this one allows you to be any unit with the card name, rather than just specifically a Trickstar, which is probably why we never got a new Trickstar. Either way, though, it's not a bad grade 2 to have in the ride deck, and again, it procs by simply riding, so one of them in the ride deck, none in the main deck. Only that we have cute little brother thing I'm not going to say the name of. Grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, continues rear guard. If your Vanguard has either the card name I'm not going to say or Koro, this unit gets intercept. So cool, 5k interceptor is nice to have. And then continues drop zone if your drop zone has a blitz ordinate, 5k shield. Okay, so clearly it's an overgrowth target that you can superior call off of this, but worst case scenario, you have a 10k interceptor you can use once you hit a blitz ordinate drop, not making it a bad card at all. So it's a solid 3 over 4 of in the main deck. Then we have the thing that introduces the explosive growth gimmick with, I don't know why I like looking at this. I think I don't even think it's funny. I think it's just cool, his like buff muscles. I think that's why I like this card. Anyways, grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base, the healthy baby thing I'm not going to say the name of. Explosive growth, a grade 0 normal unit with baby in the card name. And you may place it by stacking on a specific unit instead of normal calling it. It is literally overdressed for this deck. So anyways, auto and placed on rear guard circle by explosive growth. Energy blast 3 to draw a card, and this you gets 5,000 power for the turn, so you know it's a 15k, not bad. And then auto rear guard once you attacks, if you have a grade 3 getter Vanguard, either the name I'm not going to say or Koro, this unit gets 5,000 power for the battle. So essentially, when the turn is placed, it's a 20k swing, and once you hit grade 3, and then auto rear guard added by this unit attack, if this unit is in the explosive growth state, release this unit's growth source, aka the original dress equivalent, on this rear guard circle as rest, and return this card to your hand. So, remember the one problem Overdress had, where like once the unit kind of went to the drop zone, it was dead, and unless you had a way to recycle it, or until Bushy gave us a way to recycle it, it just stayed dead? Well, this deck kind of bypasses that, because not only do you get your neat little interceptor back, or whatever other grade 0 they choose to give us, but also this just returns to hand, so you can reuse it if you want. And since at the end of the battle, it works really well with a very specific card we'll get to in a minute. So yeah, 4 of, honestly, it's good for what it is. And we have Non-Standard Newborn thing I'm not going to say the name of. Grade 3 Twin Jet Persona, 13k base. Apparently a part of his name is being 0 years old. Continues rear guard during turn. If you have a unit in the explosive growth state, your entire front or rear guard or all your core units get 10,000 power. So literally stolen from Mahar Nirvana. And then auto Vanguard once per turn when this unit attacks, counterboss 1, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. If you stood at grade 0 normally with Bebe in the card name, choose up to 1 card with explosive growth from ability from your hand and make it explosive growth on that unit as stand. So essentially, not overdress, explosive growth this on top of any of your grade 0s, swing with it, do the 5k, bounce it back to hand, then attack with the Vanguard, explosive growth this, and then you essentially get free 10k to front row for 2 different attacks, and not to mention the fact you can continue to bully down your opponent with multi-attack, and it's just a really good grade 3 all around. If I didn't have my personal bias towards this deck, I would think this deck's honestly pretty cool, because I don't know why, I like the artwork of this grade 3, and I like the artwork of this grade 2, and I honestly like the synergy they have with each other, if only they didn't ruin it by making this the Custonios deck. So 4 of. Moving on, we have Ani Takahashi. So from what I'm assuming, this is the younger brother, not younger brother, older brother, quote unquote, of the weird baby thing. I do not care about the lore of this, so I mean, if you want to fill me out in the comments, go ahead, but I promise you I will not give a crap. And then act rear guard, rest this unit, choose a grade 0 normal unit with Bebe in the card name from your drop zone, call it a rear guard circle. It took Trickstar / Nirvana how long to get one of these, and then this deck just gets in the first set? Okay, you know what, screw it, why the hell not? It's a 3 of, if not a 4 of in the deck, just because it recycles your main units. Then we have Let's Advance into Space. It's a blitz order because Stoic doesn't have enough of those already. Grade 2 blitz order. If you have a Vanguard that's either the card name I won't say or Koro, pay by Soul Blasting 1. Choose one units that's being attacked. It gets 5,000 power for that battle. Then you can choose up to 2 units with the name I'm not going to say, with different card names without Sentinel from the drop zone, and call them to guard circle. So this is literally the Grand Blue G guard that does the almost the exact same thing verbatim. And then if your Vanguard is the name I won't say, when you would choose cards from your drop zone, you can also choose trigger units instead of norm units. So quite literally, that one grade 4 that I don't remember the name of, I think it's the flippy one, but okay, not a bad defensive blitz order. I'll give it that. It's a free 5, well, not free 5k, it's all about 5k regardless, but on top of that, you can possibly make it so you have a lot more guarding power, so it's not bad. It's a good 4 for the deck. Then we have Ethics 0 Taro. And the thing was, like, most of these arts you can kind of pin together just based off of like how they are. Like, for example, with a later art, it's kind of, I think this is the sister, this is obviously the brother, this is the main character, I don't know what the hell that is. And we have like a family shot later from the front, and then there's whatever this is, and I honestly don't understand. So ethics 0 Taro, auto inputs on rear guard circle from the hand. Your vanguard is either the name I won't say or Korokoro. CB1, your opponent ditches a card from the hand. That is so unbelievably good if they ever give this deck a countercharger, because my god, just imagine people finding a way to loop this back to hand and keep making your opponent discard. That's going to be fun. And then auto, oh, look at that. I was just talking about the countercharger. I didn't even look down to see the countercharger part. Auto rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted a unit in the explosive growth state. If your vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, thing I won't say the name of, yeet this to soul and either countercharge or energy charge 3. So either countercharge or energy charge 3. Whoa, okay, Bushy just gave this deck a random really good grade 1. Easy 4 of, and I don't need to explain why. Moving on, we have the deck side grade 3 to 9% 13k base, and releasing seriousness. You can't release seriousness with this. Continues Vanguard or Rear Guard. During turn, if you have a unit in the explosive growth state, this unit gets 5,000 power. If it's on Vanguard, all from core, you just get 5k instead. So obviously, it's actually worse version of this thing, because this thing gave 10k to everyone. And then following that, it has auto Vanguard once per turn. When it attacks, counterboss 1, choose a Rear Guard stand it. It is literally verbatim the exact same skill as this. So I mean, like, this has a Rear Guard skill, so it's not that bad. But yeah, you're not running this unless you really need the space, so take that as you will. Moving on to, there we go, the Takahashi family. Actually, yeah, now that I notice it, he is kind of like hiding in the background. I didn't even notice him before, but you can kind of see from that position. But yeah, so this is, oh, this must be the mother then. I like how I'm trying to piece together something I don't really give a crap about. But Takahashi family, auto when placed on rear guard circle, so grade 1 boost, high shield, AK base. Soul Blast 2, choose a card with explosive growth ability from your drop zone, add it back to hand. And again, took a decent while for Nirvana to get one of these. I mean, they technically had in the trial deck with the order card, but no one really ran that. So nice to have this here as like a 2 over 3. I say that, and yeah, I ran it in my set 1 Nirvana deck. Following that, we have Nurturing Watery Ichina. Thank God we have something to take me off of this. So grade 2 and set 5k shield, 10k base, auto and placed on rear guard circle from the hand. If your Vanguard was a glitter, check top 5, to 1 glitter card from them, reveal, put to hand, shuffle your deck. If you glitter card, put to soul. If you forgot, yes, set 6 is going to focus on the glitter units, and we're going to get the new Aroa. So being able to yeet this thing into soul and then also just get a free glitter to hand honestly isn't a bad support card for like Aroa or like anything that's going to use Stoic glitter. So honestly, 4 of. I mean, just for the record, if you put Mabel in your deck for superior ride targets, well, there you go. Ichina can fetch it out, so that's pretty solid. Then we have Expanse Green Dragon, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, AK base, auto rear guard when this unit boosts. If your energy busts 3 or more at the same time for the cost of this card's ability, you get 5,000 power. 13k, not bad. As I've learned recently, this does proc off with the energy generator's ability, so easy, draw a card, and this thing is 5,000 power. Could be better, could be worse. It could be this thing, so 2 over 3 of. Speaking of this thing, Takahashi thing I'm not going to say the name of, no regrets or shame with his birth. Grade 3, 200 persona, 13k base, explosive growth, the same standard units as normal. And then auto rear guard once per turn with this unit, and the explosive growth state attacks of grade 3 or greater Vanguard gets 10,000 power for the battle. And then by counterbossing 1, this unit gets a crit for the battle. So it's a 23k swing plus this thing's ability, so 33k swing overall. Then possibly gives a crit, then it bounces itself because I'm pretty sure this thing has the same bounce ability. It does. And then you proceed to do that again, and all this costs you is 2 CB, or 3 CB, sorry, to bully your opponent down with a 33k double crit beat stick on your first grade 3 turn if your opponent went first. 4 of. It's just a beat stick, and you love it for that. And then we have a new grade 0 to go along with it. Grade 0 boost, 5k shield, escape base, loves his brother, and the thing I'm not going to say the name of. Continues rear guard. If you have a Vanguard, this is the thing I'm not going to say the name of, or Koro, and your drop zone also has a blitz ordinate, this unit's original power becomes 10,000 power. So we have the one that wants to make itself a 5k shield, if I could find it, and then, or a 10k shield, and then we have the one that makes it a 10k base, and if at worst comes to worst, you can also run the starter in the main deck and essentially have an extra copy of it so you can overgrowth, or not overgrowth, explosive growth. Not bad. I prefer the Interceptor, but 10k original power isn't bad at all, so 2 over 3 of. Then we move on to cards I actually give a crap about, and of course they're both vanillas, quote unquote. First we have Demonic Dragon Maid Sankey, grade 2 and 5k shield, 8k base. 8k base? And now I hate this card. Continues guard circle, your binds on a total of 5 more cards between you and your opponent. This unit gets 10,000 shield. 15k is not bad. Doesn't need to lose power though, but 15k is not bad, especially if you're playing a bind heavy deck, just gonna say that. Then we have Commute Spin Dragon, so I think every deck is getting this set simply because Stoicheia got, or not Stoicheia, Brancate got it first. I'm just going to assume every deck's going to get it since this deck got it. Great turns to 5k shield 10k base, such a badass looking art for, again, such a waste of a skill. Act Rear Guard once per turn, Energy Blast 3, ton to turn, this thing gets boost and 5,000 power. Why does Bushy always gotta make the really good looking cards have the most unnecessarily generic skills? Are they trying to show off more of the card art? If that's the case, just give us the full art and then give these things really cool skills. I could see this being a ride line grade 2. Hell, I could see this card being a main grade 3 or a side grade 3, a promo grade 3, but no, screw it, give it this generic skill. 4 for the memes, no more than 2 if you're really trying to seriously run this. On to our final reviews for the day. First up, we have the news of set 7, Getsuga Soin? Is that the name of the set? I have honestly no idea, but this is the new character that is interesting to look at because this is now a so-called master who we've only heard about once, and he enjoys teaching people and exudes a somewhat suspicious aura. He is once a professional fighter that rivaled Michiru, but he disappeared from the professional world. Honestly, I am very excited to see a character who was able to rival Michiru and also the character that now called Master. I was interested in seeing both, and I'm glad that they're both in one, and his name is Kagetsu Yakumo, and then his ace is a Brancate unit, which I find funny that Nao's master is a Brancate user like her respective rival Senka, and it's called Gatekeeper of the Moon, Vizrug. I am so excited to see this, only because I see the word moon. That is literally the first thing my eyes saw when I saw this unit's name. Just gonna put that out there. Moving on, we have the new Coral line. You see, I'm so disappointed that we got these today, because next week, Tuesday, we have the, what's it called? Not Vedrock, but Favernil and Grand Grace cards, and I'm off today, so I could have had an entire day to just film a bunch of videos with Favernil and Grand Grace, but no, we choose to instead reveal those next week when I don't have the off day, but sir, screw me. Either way, though, this is all great achievements, required time, grade 0, boost, 5k show, 6k base, honor province like draw card, standard star, nose palette. Moving on, we have newbie Rewinder Chrono, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto input by writing from a Koro, reveal a grade 3 card from the right deck with either Rewinder or Koro, search deck for 1, retry I, reveal it, put your hand, shuffle your deck. Okay, cool, that it can be written from any Koro, and that you can have any Koro in your ride deck or a reminder specifically to get the order, which is nice, so obviously one of in the ride deck. Then we have retry I, so grade 3 set order, you can set it for free on an order zone once per turn at the end by your unit with the retry ability attacked. If your vanguards are grade 3 or greater with Rewinder in the card name, so blast 2 and rest this card and retry that unit. A unit that I'm assuming that's, a unit that retries will stand. Until end of turn, it cannot retry, and it gets 5,000 power, and increase or decrease its critical to 1. So it's multi-attack with a 5k stacked on top of it. Okay, not bad. Could be worse, could be better. Just gonna say it's a 3 of and move on, or technically it's a 4 of. Then we have the boy who aims to be special class Rewinder Chrono. It's a dual nation as per usual with Dark States and not Brancate, Koro. Great chance to 5k show 10k base, auto and wrote upon by a grade 3 card that either has Rewinder in the card name or is a Koro. Check the top 5 for up to 1 Koro. Call to rear guard circle, shuffle the deck, and then if either of a card with Rewinder in this card name or retry I was chosen, you may put it to your hand instead of calling it. Which is pretty solid because this is a way to yeet Persona Rides into your hand. If their PGs end up having the name Rewinder, you can add that pack to hand, you can add your order to hand, or you just get a free rear guard. Either way, not a bad grade 2, honestly. It gets you anything you really kind of need in the moment, so I'm fine with the one of in the red deck. Then we have I'll Defy Fate Rewinder Chrono, grade 3 to Persona 13k base, retry ability, continues Vanguard or Rear Guard, it literally does nothing, so it literally is just a keyword to proc off retry I over here. Then act Vanguard once per turn, soul boss 1, check top 5, so to 1 Core card from bundle called to Rear Guard Circle, shuffle the deck, if you chose a retry I, you may reveal it and put it into your hand instead of calling it. So essentially this, but doesn't have the ability to add a possible PG or Persona Ride to hand. Anything that isn't the order will automatically get called, but okay, cool. Pretty decent. And then auto Vanguard once per turn, version up, activate if you Persona of this turn and you have 4 more cards of the damage zone. This is literally limit break on steroids. At the end of the battle, this unit attacks, put a card from your hand to soul, search it up to 1 or drop zone for up to 1, the me from 3 minutes ago Chrono, call it to back or rear guard circle. That unit gets 10,000 power for the turn. If you search your deck, you shuffle it. So instead of the unit going on top of it like you think it would, it just calls another one, gives it back row attack, and then gives it 10 power. Not bad, though I would kind of, especially because they specifically chose the name version up, I would assume it would be a Persona ride, but you know, we're gonna, or like another grade 3 superior ride, but we'll take what we can get. It's not bad, so I'll give it the 4, especially if that card is actually really decent. Oh, there we go. The 3 minutes for the meet from 3 minutes ago. Chrono. Grade Units of 5k shield, 10k base, contains Vanguard, continuous. If your Vanguard is either Rewind or Core, this unit gets all the following. Only placed on rear guard by the Vanguard's ability during the battle phase. This unit gets all contains rear guard. This unit can attack from the back or center column until end of turn. So the ability that he gets anyways, he's gonna have. Oh, well, no, he won't. This calls it to background, and this gives it the ability. But, okay, cool. So once it's, I'm pretty sure it's stuck back there. But auto back or rear guard center, and I see the word purchase soul, so it's not stuck back there. When this unit attacks him, you have to get 5,000 power for the turn. If you did, at the end of the battle, show it to soul. Okay. He gets you soul and basically makes this ability free, though, to be fair. This makes this ability free, but you know, it is what it is. It's a 15k swinger. It goes to soul. The only downside is this thing is a straight up vanilla if you are not persona riding. Because the only way you're going to superior, because it has to be called by the Vanguard's ability, and the only way, to my understanding, to call this thing by the Vanguard's ability is to be persona riding, be at 4 or more, or have 4 or more damage. So if you don't have either of those two, you automatically have a vanilla in your deck, which kind of sucks, but I mean, not a bad grade 2, though it definitely could be much worse. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's not a... Yeah, it definitely could be much better, so it's a 3 or a 4 just because of like this thing requires it, but yeah, it could be better, Then we have smartphone type AI smartphone, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto drop zone when your grade 3 or greater card with reminder on the card name is placed during your ride phase. If you do not have a Vanguard smartphone on the card name, call this card to rear guard circle, then active rear guard, yeet this to soul, check top 7 to 1, retry eye from one limb, reveal, put your hand shuffle deck. I like how they're trying to make up for the fact that, you know, retry eye over here is Soul Blast 2, so they're pretty much giving everything a extend itself to soul ability. So 4 of smartphone, I guess, not bad. I mean, it's a top 7 search, so it's a really good card for that. Then we have Strongest Rewinder Shirai. Grade 2 instead of 5k shield, 10k base, continues Vanguard or Rear Guard retry. If your Vanguard is either Rewinder on the card name or is a Core, this unit gets the following. And then Act Drop Zone if your Order Zone has a retry eye and you do not have a copy of this on Rear Guard, CB1 call itself and it gets the continuous Rear Guard. All your Vanguards with Chrono in the card and get 5,000 power for the turn. Okay. Cool. Good thing that can't stack, because otherwise that'd be busted. And then auto rear guard once per turn, version up. Okay, so version up is for both Vanguard and rear guards, I guess. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, this unit gets 10,000 power until end of turn. Then by energy boosting 3, you can give this unit a crit for the battle. So 20,000 double critical for a battle. Not bad. Could be better because again it's locked behind 4 more damage and persona riding, but I mean this ability kind of makes up for it, and the fact that it has the rewinder trait regardless of the Vanguard or rear guard is nice, but you can't place this until you're at grade 3, so I don't know why it has the retry ability on Vanguard, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. 4 of. Then we have the last card of the day, Calm and Collected Android Rewinder Lemon. Grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base. Literally the exact same first half of the ability as the other one. And then auto rear guard when it's placed, soul counter boss 1, draw a card, and this unit is 5,000 power for the turn. Then auto rear guard once per turn, version up when it attacks by energy boosting 3. Your opponent cannot activate auto abilities of their cards until end of battle. Wow, that is surprisingly really good, because that kind of just shuts down PGs straight up. You know what? I was going to say this card's not that good, but now that I realize it not only shuts down PGs, but like defensive Vanguard abilities such as Rora, I'm going to give that a 4 of, because that can be really useful in a lot of different situations. But without further ado, and thank God, because this is my least favorite. Okay, well, honestly, this one was mildly entertaining just because it was a deck I kind of am curious about, but this one I do not care for at all. But thankfully, that's it for these reviews. I hope all of you enjoyed. Next week, we will have Favrenil and Graham Grace. I don't know if we're getting new ride lines for them or not, or if we're getting supporting use with them. I just know we are getting those two specifically. So I will see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us for Twitch, and don't forget to snap your Vanguards.